We're here in the beautiful city of Frankfort, Michigan, located here on the coast of Lake Michigan. Hey everyone, Scott of the Scott Man, and welcome. It is such a beautiful morning out here on Lake Michigan, and we're going to be exploring the beautiful city of Frankfort, Michigan. Check out the downtown area, some different parks around here, and also head over to Point Betsie Lighthouse, located just to the north of here, and even we'll go over to nearby Alberta, and then we'll finish off by getting a beautiful sunset to the south of here. So we're starting off here at the Frankfort North Breakwater Lighthouse. The original light tower was built back in 1873 on a wooden pier. However, in 1912, the current lighthouse, which you see here today, was constructed. And it's been standing here ever since. As a matter of fact, even a couple decades later, they even added on another story to the lighthouse. But yeah, right after sunrise, this is such a beautiful spot. And as we come back to shore, we have a beautiful beach with plenty of sandy beach where you can just lay on the sand, just watch the waves come in. And also there's a volleyball court and even some swing sets too, or a swing set that overlooks the lighthouse. Frankfort is quite a nice place if you're looking for a little beach getaway here in northern Michigan. So now it's time to make our way into town. And we come over from the main street in Frankfort, and we head over by where the Coast Guard station is. We have the Elizabeth Lane Oliver Center for the Arts, or simply the Oliver Arts Center. It is here. What's cool is that it is absolutely free to enter, and you have it's a great celebration of art, as you have an art gallery, and they even offer art classes in there too. I'd go in there, but unfortunately I think they're closed today with it being Sunday. Either that or they're open later today. And as we make our way back to Main Street, we got a nice little viewpoint of the Betsy Bay Harbor, which of course features Betsy Lake. And supposedly around here on May 18th, 1675, famous French Jesuit missionary Father Jacques Marquette died along the shoreline of Lake Michigan in the Lower Peninsula of Michigan as he was coming back to St. Ignace from an adventure down to what's now like Mississippi and Illinois, like basically where the Mississippi River is. But it's not really truly known exactly where he died here on the Lake Michigan shoreline, but there is some evidence point that he may have passed away somewhere around this general area, like near where the Betsy River comes out to. But again, I don't think it's 100% known or anything. But he was first buried somewhere in the area, or at least along the shores of Lake Michigan, but eventually his bones were relocated and reburied up in St. Ignace, where he had his mission. Frankfort is a beautiful city located on Betsy Bay here in Betsy County, Michigan. Frankfort is home to many great shops and restaurants and is a great place for a summer getaway. Back in the 19th century, Frankfort's first principal industry was logging and lumbering. Sawmills were built around the bay, which allowed for lumber to be easily shipped out through the Great Lakes. From 1890 until 1982, the Toledo, Ann Arbor, and Northern Michigan Railway and successor companies connected Frankfort with the rest of the U.S. with the railroad. In 1892, a ferry was also set up between Frankfort and Kewaunee, Wisconsin, which was the first use of a ferry across a large body of open water in the world. The ferry would carry freight cars and automobiles across the lake. However, the ferry no longer operates today. Today, tourism brings a lot of income into the city. Frankfort has quite a nice little community here. Lots of great shops and restaurants. We'll have to get some breakfast in a little bit, but we'll go check out a couple parks immediately here in the community, and like including this one, we have Rotary Park, a nice little small park right here in downtown, and there's even like a little garden here too. And now we'll go for a little walk along the harbor. You got this nice little beautiful park with a playground and even some picnic areas too. The area by the harbor is just very peaceful, especially in a nice morning like this one. I'm absolutely loving Frankfurt. Very beautiful community here along the shores of Lake Michigan. Alright, I think it's time to head back into town because I'm getting hungry, so I need to get some breakfast. And I found the place. This is Bella's Cafe. It's a nice place where you can get not only some breakfast or even like a lunch, but also coffee as well too. I don't drink coffee, but I can go for some breakfast.
Got a nice little cozy interior in here. You can order some coffee and of course get some breakfast sandwiches. Also got some lunch items too. But I got their early bird sandwich, which is it's almost like a McGriddle that you get at McDonald's, but it has pancakes with cheese, egg, and sausage. This is good. Cooked sausage, melted cheese, the egg, and they also give you some syrup too. I might put some on camera, but this is good stuff.
That was quite a nice breakfast. The food at Bella's Cafe is really good, I have to say. And while visiting Frankfurt, there are a lot of great places which you can stay. Different hotels, inns, and motels. One of the hotels you can stay at is the Hotel Frankfort, located right here in downtown. It's a nice little small hotel, nice and cozy with very nice rooms, and there's also a restaurant there too. Alright, so it's time to head out of Frankfurt, and we'll be checking out some things on the other side of the harbor, but we'll do that later in the video. But before we do that, we're going to head a little bit to the north of here on M22. We're going to go check out a beautiful lighthouse. And we're over here at Point Betsie, and this is at the southern end of the Manitou Passage, and this is the Point Betsie Lighthouse. This is the oldest standing structure in Benzie County. It was first constructed back in 1858, and what's really cool is that this is the original lighthouse. I don't think it's even been renovated since then, if I'm not mistaken. But it is a very beautiful lighthouse, and I think during some certain times too, I think they even offer tours inside there too. But as a matter of fact, it is the last lighthouse on Lake Michigan to be fully automated, which is back in 1983. This is such a beautiful scene along Lake Michigan. Yep. Not only have a beautiful lighthouse, but you have a very nice beach. We're going to take a dip into the very cold water. You can certainly do so here. Now, this is one of the many cool things you can do here in Frankfurt. But now we're going to head to the south of Frankfurt, to the other side of the harbor. And just like magic, it is now closer to sunset. But we've headed a little bit to the south of Frankfurt, and we're in the neighboring village of Alberta. Not to be confused with the Canadian province of Alberta. Just a small little village, not really much going on. But what we're going to check out instead is we're going to go to recreation area just over that way, and we'll get some cool views of the lighthouse we saw earlier in this video. So let's head over there. Alright, so we're over at Alberta Beach, and they got a nice sandy pathway which will take us over to the breakwater, and we can walk out toward the lighthouse. And here we are at the end of the southern breakwater, which comes out from the Alberta side of the channel. And over here we get some great views of the lighthouse that we saw at the very beginning of the video. It is just so peaceful out here. But there's gonna be one more spot we're gonna be going to that's gonna be a little bit more to the south of Frankfurt in Alberta. We're about to head over to a very scenic overlook, which I would consider my favorite scenic overlook in the state of Michigan for sunset. Before we conclude the Frankfurt video, we're stopping about maybe 15 minutes south of Frankfurt we're almost closer to Arcadia. But we're here at Inspiration Point, which is one of the highest lookout points on the Michigan side of Lake Michigan. It gets some spectacular views of Lake Michigan. This is the perfect place for a sunset. But there's still a little bit of a climb that way, so we'll do that and we'll conclude up there. And here we are at the very top. This is one of my favorite sunset spots ever. And I've been around 17 countries too. At least that's I think what I'm up to right now. But yeah, just the views from up here are just absolutely beautiful. This is the perfect place for a sunset. But yeah, I've had such a great time exploring Frankfurt. It's great to be back up in this area. Just absolutely love it up here. Especially when you can watch beautiful sunsets like this one. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video here in Frankfort, Michigan. Well, technically we're near Arcadia, but oh well. but if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come on join you for the adventure, and don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott of the Scott Man signing out from Inspiration Point looking over Lake Michigan. Hold on. Before we conclude the video, I just want to give a huge shout out to a very good patron of mine, ambientocclusion, for all your tremendous support that you've been giving me, not only for this past month, but for the past several months on Patreon. Very special thanks to you. You are truly awesome.